Hello everybody, it's Meg Ray, and in this tutorial we're going to be building, what are we building? Oh yes, a deer. Because you all asked me several times for a deer, it's probably about time we do one, right? Well, here is the deer that we will be building. I'm going to be doing it out of stone. But of course you don't have to do that if you want it to be colored, and I will show you how I colored it at the end of the video if you are interested in doing that. But without further ado, let's get started. As always, we're going to start with the middle layer of this build, and we're going to need to build 8 blocks up to start, and start our layer on the 9th block since this will be the body of the deer. I will also be keeping the center a little bit hollowed out just in case you want to conserve blocks if you happen to be building this in survival. That is basically the only reason I left some of those blocks out in the middle. But once you're done with this, we can remove those blocks we used to measure and move on to layer 2. The deer will be facing towards the right, so we're going to be building everything for the face on that side. So you're going to see a black block on the right for the eye, but the left side will have just the back of the deer's head. And we'll just keep adding on layers one at a time until we get the full body shape of this deer. By the time we get to the 3rd layer, we'll be adding the legs and completely covering those holes I made in the middle of the body, which again, you don't have to leave those there, it's just if you want to conserve blocks. On the next layer, our shapes are getting much smaller as we're finishing up those muscle shapes and getting those fine-tuned. And this is the last layer that we'll be doing for the body of the deer, but we do have one more layer to add on the face. So now we just have to add layer 5, which like I said is just finishing up the face here. So it's just adding a couple blocks on the ear and then finishing it off with a nose. Now at this point you could leave it like it is if you wanted a female deer, but if you want to make it a buck, go ahead and keep watching and we'll add some antlers. Looking at the top of the head, we're going to be placing the antlers coming from these 2 blocks right here that I've marked. And we'll be placing them from those places at a 90-degree angle. And you'll see what I mean when we get started. But just like we did for the body, I will be showing you one layer at a time and work on both sides together. So the stairs on these antlers are going to be facing all different directions, and it's not going to make sense when you're looking at just the single layer, but once we add all of them together, then it will make sense. So just pay very close attention to how you're placing the stairs because some of them are a little bit tricky. Okay, we're on layer 3, and we'll be connecting those floating blocks to each other with this layer. And then once we get to layer 4, this is going to be the hardest layer of them all. Are you ready? We're going to place 2 blocks right here. Phew, that's done. Now we just have to add one more layer before this deer is complete. I actually think this deer looks pretty good as just a stone statue. But I'm gonna go ahead and show you a way you could color it if you wanted to. Basically all I did to color it was I replaced all of the stone with wood. So we have spruce for the body, a little bit of oak right underneath his chin and on his belly, dark oak for the hooves, and birch for the antlers. The only other blocks I used were black ones for the nose and the eyes, and a little bit of white under the tail. There's probably other blocks you could have used, but I stuck with wood since it has stairs and slabs that are used all throughout the build. It just makes everything that much easier. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you guys again for suggesting it. If you have any other tutorials you'd like to see in the future, be sure to let me know by leaving a comment down below and I will take those into consideration. Also, if you do want to see more tutorials, be sure to let me know by leaving a like or subscribing if you haven't done so already. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you some other time.